What's up YouTube, this is Al from Panda E6, Livermore, California. Currently on a hunt for the best tanks and devices out on the market or in the design phase and about to be released. I've been out here for about a month in China, factory hopping, if that's a popular thing to do or not, I'm not sure, but I found this tank made by SMOKME called the Subverter Mini. And I was pretty impressed with this the first time I picked it up and tried it, because I fired this thing at 150 watts with my Sigelli 150 and it performed flawlessly. I was using my Heracles by Sense at the time, and at 150 watts this thing was smooth from the beginning to the end of a long drag. It didn't feel like it was starting to dry out. Whereas the Heracles, when I have a brand new coil in here, it's pretty good and all, but once the coil starts to age a little bit, at the end of the drag, it's a little bit dry for my taste, so I like it turned down to about 140 or 130. This tank is kind of interesting because it takes some design cues from the Kanger, because they found out that doing it this way, they can have a bigger coil head, and also have a higher liquid capacity. The airflow on this thing is probably one of the largest on the market. Comparing it to the Arctic by Horizon Tech, it's double the size, so it's easily much more airflow than the Horizon. It also takes some design cues from some other companies from the dripping world, where you have the airflow control, so it's not as dense of a cloud. Vapor is too thick, but that's usually what they do for the dripping world, right? Here they use it as a cooler for their drip tip. So the air, instead of going straight in and up, this goes straight in, hits a heatsink, goes down to give it a little bit more length and travel to cool it down more, and comes back up. So it really does work on cooling it. I put it on my dripper, took a couple of hits, and temperature was pretty good. It didn't get too hot. This is actually a temperature controlled tank. It uses nickel 200, and I can show you the coil head. I've got a zoom feature on here, but it has one of the biggest liquid inlet holes, so it can actually keep up with the high wattage. So with the 0.1, they come in 0.1, 0.2, and 0.5. With the 0.1, it's rated at 150 watts, which is what I'm using it at. The coil head, I'm not sure if you can see that, pretty far out, but the coil head has a very large diameter for a lot of air holes to go through. I mean, the bottom, if you look at it, any other tank, it's pretty much the same, but I think the only difference here is the holes for the liquid inlet, they're huge, so the con can keep up with the heat from the coils, and the hole for the air to pass through is probably the largest I've seen, so a lot of the air can pass through and cool it down faster. Overall, they're a pretty nice tank. Just a brief overview. It's on the spot. I didn't really plan this out, so sorry about all the thinking on the video. But they're releasing it sometime in May, the second week. Check it out. Again, thanks for checking it out with me. The vape on it, the Subverter tank on here, on a prototype version of the, the Snow Wolf. And this is at 170 watts with a temperature control. I had the top air hole cooler all the way open, so that was not as thick as I would like it to be. But let's get this on here. It's a little cool. I've been messing with it all day, but So I got the top air hole closed on the drip tip, all the air holes open on the bottom. At 100, I'm going to be safe. Bring it down to 165. I've been using it at 150 all day, no problems. I just right now decided to bump it at 170, so I'm going to go 160 and see how that works. That was actually pretty good. Here's the sense, Heracles, just for comparison. That's a little dry at the end. But yeah, hope you liked the overview. This prototypes, but don't mind it too much. They're still working on it. And check it out in a couple weeks.